I got a new camera, dude. I got a new camera thingy. So this should all stay a little more stable. Whoa, except for that. I might have to come in here with some pliers. It's just like a finger tightening thing. Can't seem to get it tight enough. Okay, there we go. Hello, guys. Guess what we have? We have a full-length Magpie here, which is cool, I think. But I gotta tell it to do all of the chat. I want to see everything. Okay, when I can look. Not always able to, but... Okay. So I'm just wiring this one up real quick. Nothing really all that special here. I just figured, you know, I'd do something on the internet. Just because I've been pretty MIA. There's a lot of reasons for that, usually because, oops, I am extremely busy all the time. Anyway, okay. I need to take this all the way off. Unfortunately, I can almost wire these without disassembling it, but not quite. So since we can't quite get there, we do need to pull it apart. So I don't know, we've done this before, so it's not too exciting, but you know, free entertainment if it's entertaining. Ow. Thank you. Where's my box? So before anyone asks, this full-length Magpie is no, the lever action is not ready yet. COVID really messed that up. We were hoping for this year. That might still happen. Harrison has been extremely busy with the fly point pistol, which is super cool, and you should all buy one. Support my friend. Make his life hard by making him have to make too many blasters. It's really cool though. I have one. I have one right here. Let's talk about it. That'll be way more exciting than... Wait, where is it? Oh, BRB. Why wire when I can show you a really... Oh, okay. There's one. Oh, shit. Well, I can't find my mags. Now I'll put a camper and show you how it works. Actually, legitimate question, where are those? Well, look at this. It's chunky. It's very chunky. Let's find a shell. Okay, I can't find my mag, so we're just gonna chamber load one shell in. Whoops. I wanna find legitimate question though, where are those? Alright, well I'm gonna have to find those before I have any events because I wanna play around with it in front of people. So that's why the lever action isn't ready, is because Harrison has been majorly developing the fly point, and he finally launched it, so you can buy those now, I think. I mean, I don't know how he's doing batches and what's in stock or not in stock, so maybe you can't buy one right now, but you'll be able to eventually. And once he gets that kind of settled and sorted, we're going to really start punching through the manufacturing phase of the lever action. And I am a little sad that it's taking so long, but you know, life happens, and you know, he had to because of COVID, he had to send all of his employees home and couldn't have them. So, while lockdown was in place, he was unable to. He basically had to drop everything just to make and sell the Spring Thunder orders that he'd already taken on. And so now that he's got employees back, he can take on more orders, or I guess more like tackle the backlog of orders. And so that means that we'll be able to get back to the lever action soon-ish. In the near future, we'll be able to start pursuing manufacturing of the lever action. And I am super excited about that, and really looking forward to seeing where that goes. But that is still, as I said, a little ways away. A little out of the way. Unfortunately, it is sad. Like, it's not what I was hoping for, but it is what it is. So we're hoping that that'll be maybe winter. He's also had to. We made some decisions regarding that, and he's now upgrading, I would say, his print farm and manufacturing up from what are they? Monoprice, Maker Selects and things, up to Ender 3s and CR10s. And so that's going to be a major process in its own right to get his printing capabilities up to snuff and up to the capacity where he can print something with the large parts that the lever action requires. So, but I'm really excited about that. I'm also kind of excited about this full-length Magpie. The files are going to go up on my Etsy, because the original Magpie is free, and variants are going to be paid files, because that helps me recuperate the costs of development, and makes them accessible, but also it helps deal with the piracy that has unfortunately been kind of rampant in the community. So, hopefully everything soon gets all really sorted and figured out, because I would like to. Anyway, so I do have a break action Magpie on Etsy. The files are up there. It's a little more, it's somehow more complicated than the normal Magpie, so not for the faint of heart, I would say. I think that's actually some wire stuck in there. I need to find some tweezers. Okay. Ah, wow. Gross. Okay. Okay. Let's get some heat shrink. I don't know. I don't see a. Oh, I do have a lighter. Yes. Okay. Hello? Okay, go get some water, babe. There might even be some in the fridge. Double check I got that right. What? I will in a bit. Just be patient. Alright. I'm sorry if the action is off screen, guys. Is anyone in the chat? So I think what you're seeing is a lot of people who are building their own, and it is a bit of a challenging build. I mean, I don't have a hard time with it, but I also designed it, so I'm not the person to ask, I think a lot of people are not necessarily ready for the challenge, because you need to have pretty high print quality, and you need to kind of understand the mechanism at its core. They are available from Frontline Foam, and those should be working out of the box if you buy one that's pre-assembled. The kit should make it a little simpler to deal with. Hi, baby. You know, I don't know if that like helps, but you know, it is something. Okay, there we go. Oh wait, we want to, and better check that I'm doing this right. Oh, I need to actually. Hey, Els? What? Could you let. Oh. Hey, dude, come out. Let's see. I think this one's a lot of fun because it's like a lot of little parts that all basically move. It's kind of like both extremely complex and extremely simple. And I think once you've built one, it's really easy to build subsequent ones. That's what I've heard. People have told me that. And I've built like, I don't even know anymore. I've built, I think, probably at least 10 of them. And, you know, I think I can build one in an hour if I've got everything pre-printed and ready to go. So, you know. But again, I spent like a year on the design phase of it, so like I'm not unbiased here about how easy it is to build. Hey, Tom, be gentle. There's a different lighter. Interesting. Okay, I really like this. I got like a mic stand arm to hold my phone, and it's really awesome. Allie, what's up, Bubs? There? How about you find one to put in there yourself? Oh. Well, I'm building one for my friend right now. You have two of those. We do? You mean this one? Yeah? Oh. So the thing that makes the full-length Dart one work is it has an extra detent in the front here, which is necessary because the forces on the cylinder tended to make it go like this and rotate out of place. I have not actually done a firing test yet, so, you know, I don't imagine it should have any problems with that, though. I have an Ender 3 now that's pretty recently added, and a CR10 that's highly modified. I really love the CR10 if you're going to print big things, but the Ender 3 out of the box was fantastic, and I'm probably going to make that my general recommendation if you don't need the 12-inch print bed or bigger. Oh, speaking of easy to build or not, Frontline Foam also has a build guide video about making Magpies. I'm going to need a stronger hammer spoon, I think. Anyway, and that was pretty thorough when I watched it, so that might be helpful to people who are a little nervous about the build. You're scared of the ants? Mm-hmm. There's ants in here. Oh my gosh. Start with that one. that goopy solder. That one had enough. What, Domo? You what? Junior? I think I made this a little bit long. Okay.
Daddy?
Yes, Ellie?
I'm going to put blue sort. So I'm going to put...
Have you cleaned up the room? Like the front room? That's the condition, babe. I know. But it is how it is, baby. Because if you don't do that, the house gets really messy. In a bit. I know. Let's move that. Get this on screen. Seems like this thing seems to hold it a little higher, maybe. So like the frame is a little more wide. Oh shit! That wire's way too long. That is not what's stopping you from driving the boat car, baby. It's me, because you haven't cleaned up the front room. Whoops. I'm gonna bump it though. It's right at my eye level. There we go. Going to check the chat again soon, guys. Ella? What's up, baby? Don't get too close to the printer, please. What is it that's under it that you want, baby? What the hell? Ah, dang it, I totally missed the screw hole. There we go.
Dad, can you use this?
Sometime.
I want a gun like that.
I don't have enough there for a gun. I can make a few shells, probably.
No, shells for my gun.
You want a gun that uses shells?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. That's not good, baby.
And I won't want to play with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tuck that in there.
What is Mom doing?
What, baby? Because she's working from home right now, baby. How does she get home? I don't know, baby. We tell it to with the button. Don't do it. Yeah, you might be able to see it there. Alright, we're getting somewhere. You okay, sweets? Can you pick that? Hey, Dom didn't even do anything. Hey, move. This is not yours. Okay, you don't play with it. Okay, move. No, guys, you clean the house. You clean in the house and you can drive the cars. Those are the rules.
I'm actually really hungry.
You're really hungry? How hungry are you, baby? Where is my... That's bad. Maybe in a bit. Okay, I'm doing something. Okay? Oh, there it is. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, it's so close. What is it? Is it catching on something? Do I need to cut in my chamber here? Well, they're moving the right direction. Okay. Chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah, the white parts of the Delrin ones. The resin one is the guy who is selling these Roboman automation, Brad. So he has these laser cut. They work great. They require a little bit stronger spring than if you used like I saw a pair of them. If like these ones are the TPU, so they're super flexible and squishy. If you use those, you don't need very strong springs. These are pretty tense, but really durable. Um, so he's been working on a resin one because he can, and it's really cool. And I want a resin one, but I can't afford that. So, you know. Oh yeah. Yeah, in a bit, like I said. Hey, can you be patient? I'm doing something, and I was doing it first, and you've eaten food today already, so you can wait. Plus, you had a bunch of candy. You guys can wait, okay? I'm trying to put something together. Okay. It's just, yeah, maybe there. Whoop. Whoops. I did the soldering, so squeeze that down even more. We just don't want it. Oops, this has to go through here then. So I made the hammer bigger so you can use wider springs. That should allow a little more flexibility on sourcing your parts if you don't buy a kit. Shit. Tell him no, don't get in the car. Yeah, it wasn't locked apparently. Okay, there we go. And while we have this apart, we're going to add the extra screws in here for some extra strength. Because of the print orientations on this, if you don't have amazingly perfect layer adhesion, you can sometimes have weak parts. So I've added room to reinforce a lot of this with screws. Like here in the middle, in the inside of the pivot for the hammer. I've seen people, I've had it break and other people have too. So we added a way for you to, fucking hell, stupid cord. I need to figure out an actual light instead of what I've got. So I added a way for it to be reinforced so that we can have a stronger blaster. Let me hope that fits. That one probably too long. We're gonna see. Nope. Ah, yeah, perfect. Okay. Well, we're here. Let's add some lubricant here, mostly. Probably want a little bit there, if we can. And then just a little bit on these guys. Although I hear Delrin has really got a weird surface quality properties that kind of makes it like it's a little bit almost like self-lubricating. I don't think it is, but it's kind of like that. So we probably don't actually need any legitimate lubricant on those parts. I might have overdone it on the spring strength there. What? Why isn't that returning? Oh, you know why. So didn't get my wires tucked in there properly. Probably. Nope. What are you saying, Bubs? Why are you over there? Stop playing with me. I know what you want, but I don't want you to be...
There's some under there.
Ellie, I don't want you messing with the stuff there, okay?
But why?
Because I don't want you to touch the printer and get burned or something. Okay?
What is this? Come inside.
Ella, don't worry. Yeah, you're here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually put some lubricant there too, and we're gonna see if that will help us. I shouldn't need to sand the hammer down or the trigger down. Come on. Okay. It's not what? So annoying. Why is it like that? Let's put the grip on and see. The main problem I have with the Magpie is how tedious it sometimes is to tune the trigger. It's just barely not properly passing the sear. Always have this problem basically. Not unusual. So we have to pull this panel off and we'll take a look and see. Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on here. Seems like the trigger is probably catching on the wires. Unfortunately. That's basically my least favorite scenario for this to fail because it's really hard to fix. This file should be updated to have more room. Maybe it's not though. Oh no, that one isn't because I didn't reprint that one. Okay, that would explain it. Well, soldering iron is off now, so I can't just cook it. Alright. Yeah, you know, that actually makes sense with the Magpie and the turkey. I was thinking the Magpie because it's supposed to be like you can pick stuff up, shiny darts up off the ground. So it's like it was supposed to be kind of like a scavenging blaster. If it actually ended up that way is more debatable, but you know, that was kind of the intention. I was originally thinking like the Crow or something, but it sounded too badass, and I didn't want to like presume that I was making something super badass when I didn't even know it would work. So, and also look at my cute bird. Look at that magpie. The hat. I don't think a different bird would have been as cute. Yeah, we're gonna have to. What is the best way to do this? We're gonna do some light dremeling because I don't want to use the knife. I hurt my wrist, and like about a week ago, and it's only just now kind of getting really back to snuff. So I don't want to like hurt it. So catching this is something I'm gonna update in the files before I start selling them, because I'm glad I did catch that. That wouldn't have been fun to deal with for people. It's not fun for me to deal with. I thought I'd gotten that all fixed in all of them. Apparently not. That's a bummer. Still not enough room in there.
I'm gonna let John out.
Okay. I need my snippers. basically these wires need to sit together flush like that, and that's kind of hard to make happen sometimes. I am missing a tool. Oh, there it is. Those kids. If they honk that horn, they're gonna kill me. Too careful cutting. Don't want to cut my wire, but I do want to cut that. Okay. Alright, there we go. Whoops, I don't have a trigger on. Alright, let's test it. Oh, there we go. Awesome. That was the problem. That wasn't the problem with the old parts. So I ended up, this is the older project actually, and I ended up going through a lot of revising and then kind of dropped it. And so, you know what? That screw is too long in there. We're gonna swap that out for a shorter one. So this is an older project, and I actually had a friend, he commissioned one. He wanted one bad enough that he commissioned and paid some extra development, like extra costs towards development to see it. Oh, fucking hell, it's still not doing it. Why? What? That spring is stupid strong right now. All of the springs are. And it's still not bypassing the part properly. Why is it doing this? Feels super close though. So this one is actually finally coming to completion now. Just slightly loose. I don't think that's it, personally. Come on, bastard. Alright, there we go. Get your long screw into there. Let's get the torque-your screwdriver. Okay. Okay, so so it kind of depends on what I'm using as a primary. Personally, I like the Magpie better. Why? I like the Magpie better. It's more my jam. That's interesting. It's That's super weird. Okay. I like the Magpie better. It's more my style. But if I'm running my lever action for example, which does not use mags. Something like the Pigeon is gonna be. It doesn't just not use mags. It's what is going on here? That's super weird too. I'm having lots of weird issues here on this thing. I shouldn't be having these issues. This is so weird. Oh, I see. You know what'll fix that? A lighter. Alright. This is probably actually should have been a little more predictable for me because it's, you know, a new development.
Daddy, look at what I found.
What'd you find, baby?
This.
What is it? Oh my gosh, it's that card. No. It's ridiculous.
What?
Yeah, you sure did find that, baby. There we go. Dang it. It's all falling apart. Let's blow some air onto me. It's getting hot out here. Yesterday it was 102. So my garage is going to get pretty hot in that kind of weather. What the fucking hell? Why is it doing this? I don't get it. What is pushing that off? Ugh, fucking shit, man. I hate everything. Okay. So what's happening is the screw inside of here is coming out too far, apparently. It doesn't seem like it would be too long though. But... And I also think that the screw head here is not working anymore. Gazillion little problems. Wait, what the heck? There's a screw in there too? There we go. I might have to glue these together. The whole frame was actually originally 2 pieces, and I ended up splitting it into like 5 to make it easier to print, so, you know. So it's kind of a known thing that it does this a little bit, but it's not perfect. Guys, weird shit. Yeah, now we're talking. Please don't mess that up, grip. Something about the grip squeezing it is... I don't know, baby. Something about it being squeezed together is forcing it to not work so well. I wonder if it's that my spring is not in the right shape and is having a lot of friction against the internal frame there. Plastic. I use PLA mostly. Sometimes I use PTG, and I love TPU is one of my favorites, but I wouldn't use it on a blaster because it's just not like it's not what you want a blaster to be made out of, you know. So you know, but mostly PLA. If you want to spend the time and stuff to get PTG sorted for you, or if you have an enclosure for ABS, those are going to be more durable, probably better plastics, like for longevity and stuff. But they're also going to be a little harder to print. ABS is non-recyclable, non-compostable, so that's something that I personally like about PLA is that it's slightly earth conscious and stuff, but it's not like super amazing that way. It's not like not using plastic. PTG is a lot more heat resistant than PLA, including high temperature PLA. So if you're in like say Florida or Georgia, or I guess like Arizona or something, you're definitely gonna want to consider using something that isn't PLA, because PLA will have more chance to get melty. I have only had problems with that when it's been in like a car, and that was only one time. But that is something to keep in mind as you print things, is the care that's going to be needed for it. If you use PLA, you're going to have to baby it a little bit. PLA also has a lot more options for color and finish and stuff, so you can get some really cool, all those sparkly ones and the metal infused and all of that. PTG doesn't really have any of that. So when you get PTG, you can get more transparent things, which is cool. Or you can get solid colors, basically. I've also never painted PTG, so I don't know if it paints well, and that is a factor for me personally when I'm making them for myself. Why is it doing that? I don't get it. This thing is having problems that my old Magpies had, that I fixed, but I don't know how I fixed them. I don't remember anymore. Well, I think we can do a firing test though, right? Let's put it all the way together and see, because yeah. So basically the sear is it's not going past the sear. Even though the spring is really strong, I might have to use an even stronger spring, or I might have to is it catching on the switch, maybe? I think I need to use a thinner spring. A thinner diameter, probably. I have not fired this thing yet, so let's do that. Maybe do a chrono test too. I expect this will get higher velocity, but with the, familiar flight characteristics of full-length darts. So I'm not expecting it to be any better. Might be. I need to find some darts. The kids have a box of full-length darts somewhere. What is it about? Well, there's an elite dart.
What are you doing?
Because that's what this one fires, is the big darts. Where'd Dom go? Is he inside?
In the car.
Ah, Dom, get out of the car. Who knew? I didn't know that. Okay. Okay. pressing the switch. Alright, so there's something else going on here too. Gotta take off that grip. It fired. I think there's more friction in this one than the other one for some reason. Not sure why. Seems like the grip might be tighter than on the others for some reason. I don't know, that's weird. Interesting. The AccuFake is a little long. So, you know, that's good to know too. Let's see. Where's my phonograph? Oh, there's my chrono. Alright, let's chrono this. What the hell? Oh shit, there's smoke coming out of there. What the fuck? Oh, you know what? There must be some sort of connection. That's not good. Look, I can make mistakes, guys. I am making a mistake right now. We are not chronoing it right now. You know, I bet it's the trigger springs. It has a missing groove here. What is going on? What? Oh shit! Oh no. I don't know. I guess we might need to, you know, I think I forgot to heat shrink that, which is bad. Ooh. Get that back on. That's a little scary, actually. I hope I didn't fry my switch. I mean, it seems to be working. It's not a big deal to fry a switch compared to like a motor. Okay. Well, you guys saw it first. I'm fucking it up. Now, I do still want to know why I'm having these like friction issues. Hey, Elsie. What?
I'm sorry.
Are you sorry?
Because I just am going in the car.
Please don't. You guys have to go in the car.
You got ropes.
You got what?
Ropes?
You got ropes?
Yeah, in case the car goes off.
Ow.
And in case the car goes off, we will stop. In case someone pushes the pedal, we will stop the car from moving.
Oh, okay.
In case the car moves by itself. It
Yeah.
probably could.
Yeah, it could. Please be home. Just do it.
Well, we're gonna have to go in the costume.
Don't make me wait.
Yeah,
I'm
20
finally
hours
getting
ago.
hot enough to go hotter than usual
20 hours.
too. Come on, it's melting so early. Why down? Oh shit. Alright. Well, I think I have to go now, guys. My dudes. It was nice to stream, and thanks for watching. Maybe I'll do another one soon. We'll see.